Good afternoon. I'm Petra Wolfbeis. I'm the Director of the Membership Center with the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, also known as AMO, which I believe you are all familiar with. I am joined here, and I'll only be on your screen momentarily, by Poonam Ruparelia, who is the coordinator of all events and training, and you've been speaking with about the virtual exhibit hall, and Victoria Van Veen, who works very closely with AMO through all of our tremendous annual events. Um, Thank you for joining us today. We are all on a new adventure into the virtual conference world, and appreciate Poonam putting this webinar together, because I can appreciate, having now worked on this event for the last, I would say, 6 weeks, how many unknowns there are, and wanting to get a sense of exactly what you are planning on investing your time and money in. I'd like to, if I can say anything to instill some confidence, we're working really hard to um, replicate our live event as much as we possibly can through a virtual forum, in that we are looking at many opportunities for you to engage with participants in the conference. Um, and we do appreciate that there's never an opportunity to replace, in-person exchanges with people and developing those types of relationships. But I think you will, if for those of you who may not yet have ventured into the virtual exhibit hall world, you'll see that there is quite a bit of opportunity, and it actually is quite an interesting undertaking. So I'm available as well for any questions if there are some, or feel free to follow up with me at any time. But I know Poonam and Victoria have all what you need covered off. And so I will now turn it over to Poonam, who is residing in a very lovely background, which I understand is in Florida. Anyway, thank you again, and I hope you find this useful.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our virtual walkthrough today. As Peter mentioned, very excited to be able to walk you through what we have dreamed up for this year for you guys. Before we move forward, I also want to introduce Hamza bin Tahir. He is working with Wayfarers, and that's the provider that we're using for the platform for the virtual exhibit tour. And he will be joining me in sharing some of the technical questions and the walkthrough if you have. Victoria is going to take your question and answers, so please be sure to type in any questions that you have through the Q&A forum if you can. And we will try to answer as many questions as possible. And if there are any that are left, we will respond to them in a follow-up email with you after this webinar. So just want to go over a couple of things before I start to share the screen and do a little walkthrough of what a sample exhibit floor will look like. This year, in our current offering on the virtual exhibit floor, we are offering a standard booth that comes with 3 design options and has 2 complimentary full conference registrations. It'll also have the 5 trade show access workers, or the booth workers, that you will have to staff your booth. And the deluxe booth comes with 5 design options, 3 complimentary registrations, and once again, the 5 booth worker that'll have access only to the trade show. So I'm going to start sharing screen. And this is a product that Wayfarers built for another customer, which they've been very kind to let us use to share with our attendees. Give me just one moment. So here we go. So you will come through the main conference platform, and it'll have a menu on the site, which will bring you to this lobby, which is going to be our sponsored lobby. And this is going to be the look and feel of the lobby. And as you scroll up, you'll see some of the offerings here, and we'll have the exhibit hall. So I'm going to take you right through, because I'm sure the tension is mounting to see what it looks like. So what we've done is we've selected the this particular style, obviously without the snow, hoping to replicate the Ottawa background here, and it scrolls from left to right. And you can just click your cursor anywhere and it'll scroll. And it shows you some of the design options that the booths offer. And it has a very nice look and feel. So you can, click on any booth that you like, and it takes you right to the booth. And then you can see all the resources available. So this is where you can build as much information as you want. You can link it to social media, you can link it to resources. You could have company information, upload videos. Now, the cool thing about building your booth, you could have a lot of your collateral. You could have a static image, or it could be linked to your website or a video. So that's up to you how you want to design and build your booth. I'm going to take you through to the one item that I'm sure a lot of you are interested in. This here is when a delegate enters the booth and they click on the chat. Is the minute they click on it, they enter in, they can either engage in a text chat, a video chat, or an audio chat. And when a delegate enters the chat room here, they'll be able to engage with the booth workers. They can listen in on conversations that are going on, or they can have a one-on-one chat. And exhibitors will have the opportunity to engage with the delegates and even pull them through into a private one-on-one as the chat progresses. So I want to take you through a few more items here. We will build the exhibitor guide right up here, which will have an index. We're planning right now to have 2 exhibit halls, Exhibit Hall A and Exhibit Hall B, and they'll be both the same gallery style. And there'll be a listing here with an index which directs delegates to where exactly the exhibit booth will be located. This will, of course, be replaced by the AMO branding. And then there's an opportunity here to brand this as well. So it's quite easy to manipulate and to go back and forth through here. I'm going to take you through another booth. You can see, different booths are built in a different way, so you can add on as much information. Because this event happened in the past, so some of these images are static, they're not quite live, but you could click on any of them and they could take you to whatever resources you want to direct them to. One of the cool offerings that the exhibit floor will offer is something called a swag bag or a delegate's kit. And when you go into your resources here, under documents, you have an opportunity to something called the swag bag. I'm just trying to scroll up. So if you had any documents here, you just click on that, a delegate clicks on it and it adds to their bag and they can review them later at the end of the day or later. So this through here, you could offer any company literature, any offers, any incentives that you have, and it'll get collected into their bag. Hamza, do you want to talk a bit about some of the features that I'm talking about right now? I'd like you to jump in.
Yeah, sure. So I was just going through the questions that I have in the chat. So one of the question is that if I initiate chat with a delegate, should they approve it or give a consent? So no, there is no such approval required for an attendee. So what happens is that whenever a person enters into the chat room of that particular booth, that is a public chat room where all of the booth representatives are available. And once an attendee posts their query over there, then you can direct him that we can discuss this in a private chat, and then you can move on to one-to-one or direct messages. And about this exhibitors index on the exhibit hall, this will be alphabetically ordered.
Just as we do with the trade show guide at the physical AMO show, we have it all alphabetically ordered. It has the booth numbers. And so depending upon, as I mentioned earlier, it'll tell you if it's Exhibit Hall A or Exhibit Hall B.
Exactly.
Yeah. Should we take another question?
And about the artwork that you have to provide for the booths, is there any image or the banner that you want to be up there presented on the booth? You can add any image you want.
Let's walk through. Which one of these booths is live? Let's walk through one that we could. Actually, I want to click on this one here. If you look at this, they actually linked it to a video. So you could have a static image and you could click on it. It would either take you to your documents inbox or to your company website, or you could have a video loop playing. I know a lot of people have asked me this question, what if, about the loop that you can have playing. So this is an opportunity to do that. And we can talk a bit about avatars too. So Hamza, can you talk a bit about that? Is there a possibility to customize maybe an image or something of an avatar to a company rep?
Okay, so first just talk about the video. For the video part, you just have to enter the URL for that particular video. And if the link of that video is of YouTube or of Vimeo, then it would open up in a pop-up over here in the platform. And if it's some other platform where the video is available, then it will open up in a new tab. And about the avatars, we can change the avatars once their booth is ready. So for example, they want a male avatar instead of a female avatar over here in the booth. So that can be done. But for that, they have to have their booth completed before time.
Okay, great question. Let's go back into the lobby so that I can walk you through again what the look and feel is. Through our main conference platform, you'll come in here, and then you'll look at the top and decide where to go. We will have our delegates lounge right here. We will be offering the swag bag. These are not all of the options that we'll have, and we'll be very happy, and we'll share the information with you shortly. We will have a gamification deployed that will bring delegates through to the exhibit floor, and we'll let you know the information on how to participate in that. I'll let Hamza talk a little bit more about it to give you an overview of what that'll mean.
Okay, so in order to engage the attendees for that particular event, there are two possible gamifications that we can do. One is the scavenger hunt. Can you please open the info desk so that I can show them how we hide the logos?
Yeah.
So as you see, there are two logos of a snowman and other is a robot. So we can hide a particular objects like these in the event throughout, and this can be hidden in the exhibit hall as well. And the other thing that is, it's called leaderboard. So what's included in the leaderboard is that we can have a different criteria for different booths. That, for example, if there is booth A, and we can set that if an attendee visits booth A, the attendee will be given 100 points or 200 points. So yeah, we can allot the points to the attendees if they visit some particular booths or the links. So that totally depends on like what package you have selected, and then we can have that accordingly.
But all exhibitors will be able to participate in the gamification, and it'll be open to all delegates to participate in. And
okay,
we'll walk them through, and we'll
sure.
drive them through. We'll drive them through. So gamification is open for all. We'll drive them through the exhibit floor. We've extended the exhibit hall hours. As you know, in the past, the exhibit show would begin on a Sunday afternoon and end by Monday evening. So we've given exhibitors more time and delegates more time to engage with the exhibitors. Another neat feature of this exhibit hall is that the whole entire hall will be archived for 30 days, and delegates have access to all of the conference proceedings and the educational materials, as well as the exhibit hall, and they'll be able to access any of your resources. and also connect with you. So you don't have to be staffing your booth, but you'll get the messages and you can respond back. All of your company resources will be available. You know, what you have built into your booth will still be accessible and available to them. Should we take another question? If at any time, Hamza, do you want to switch share screen and you want to take them into a different share screen, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. How does the lounge work? Great question. So the lounge, the same way as you came from through the lobby to the exhibit hall, you'll just click on the lounge. So this is a sample lounge, not necessarily a design that we have selected. It'll be like the delegates lounge in the physical show in Ottawa, as many of you have been to. And there will be networking events in there. There'll be other events, and we'll have the schedule for that published. And so you'll know when to go in there. And you simply enter by just clicking on it. That's how you go in. And part of the gamification, I don't know if any of you can pick out, that this particular event it deployed is, this is a clue here. This is a find here. And so is this. So there's cute little animations here that we can deploy for engagement. And it makes it a lot of fun. I have spent a fair bit of time in here, and I have to say I'm really excited about this. I'm going to look at another question. Got it. There are 5 design options available in the deluxe booth package, and we'll be sharing them. As soon as you make your selection of a standard or a deluxe booth, then we'll send you your package, and it'll have the designs available. Some of them are out here, and I'll point them out to you. Is there an option to save chats in a one-on-one or in group? I do believe all the chats get saved. Hamza, can you please talk about that?
Yep, so we will provide you with the chat transcripts for all the chats after the event is over. So you then can share with the exhibitors.
Okay. Sharon had a great question. How we'll be pushing delegates through to the show? I think that's a great question. So we always keep some time aside for exhibitors. There's a half-hour break every day, and we'll send out some notifications, and then that'll have features of the exhibit floor that pop-up notification will come either on your desktop or your mobile, wherever you're using the logged into the platform, and it'll direct you. There'll be either a prize giveaway or something happening through on the exhibit floor that'll draw attendees through. The half-hour break every day, that's a good opportunity. And then on Monday, conference programming runs from 8:30 until 12:30, but exhibit hall hours are from 8 to 4:30. So that's a great amount of time for delegates to spend on the exhibit floor. And we plan to use notifications as well as gamifications to have, and the networking lounge here, there'll be events happening through in the delegates lounge, networking events that'll pull delegates through to this platform, the vFairs platform, the lobby, lounge, and the exhibit hall. Let's look at another question. Will attendees have 24 hours to the exhibit hall? So yes, I believe that is correct.
For the attendees, there will be certain time that for the event is live. For example, the event is going live for 3 days, then it will be live for a specific period of time, like for 9 to 5 p.m., for example. So the chat will only be live at that time, and then attendees will not be able to put in the chat, so that you do not miss on anything that attendees post after you take off for that particular day.
And there's also the chats get recorded, like the booth will get all of the chats, right? They get them at the, yeah.
Yeah, the exhibitors can view them the next day, but if someone is concerned that they do not miss the message right away, we can lock the attendees for that particular day.
Yes. So you'll have access, and the minute somebody enters your booth, you know who it is. You have that delegate's information, and so you're able to reach out to them or connect with them. Am I correct, Hamza?
Yes.
Yeah. And the beauty of this is that you don't have to look at lead retrieval. It's built into the system. It gives you how many clicks on your booth, how many people entered, what of collateral materials were viewed. So it gives you your metrics and your ROI at the end of the event. Is it a daily thing or is it an end of the event that you get them?
So we usually, what we do is we provide them with these details after the live event is over. And if there's need be for these details after the on-demand period, we can supply that reports after the on-demand period as well.
Okay, that's great. I'm gonna take another. There's one more question. Other than the cost of the booth, are there any other costs or charges we should be aware of? I think the any other costs would be if you decided to do extra customization outside of what is being offered, if you wanted to go. Other than that, everything that Hamza and I have discussed is included in the booth.
And about the exhibitors, whether they can visit other exhibitors during the trade show, yes, but they cannot join the chat room for that particular exhibitor booth. They will be only able to enter into their specific chat room. So they will be restricted from entering into the chat room of other booths.
But there is a chat room that exhibitors can engage with other exhibitors. There's a specific chat room just dedicated. Oh, that's great.
So we can create that for just for the sake of networking amongst the exhibitors, and we can stop the attendees to post in that particular chat room.
There's a great question, Hamza. Is there a way to collect a business card or contact info? I think one of the ways that we mentioned, the minute and a delegate clicks on the chat room and they enter in, you know that the delegate has entered in, and you know who it is. Outside of that, is there a way to collect information? I'm not sure, but I will let Hamza speak to that.
Yeah, so the information that we share in the report has every detail of that particular candidate that has either clicked on the video or thing. So you have the email, the name of that person. So I think that's the things that you need to contact a person. So they are there in the report that who have visited your booth. So in this way, you can collect the contact info of that person.
I don't think you have to have the web page open to receive notification for the chats, do you? How does a booth worker know that they've received?
So whenever they click on the chat on the exhibit booth, it will take them to a new page. So the chat will be opened up in a new tab, and the event platform is there in another tab. So if you have opened the chat in the background, it will give you the notification and you can be aware of that you have new messages. Meanwhile, you can explore the trade show alongside.
Oh, that's great. So I'm going to walk you back in through. You come in through the main conference page, you land onto the lobby, and then you click up here, go into exhibit hall A or B, and you scroll, you just let your cursor be and you scroll from left to right. And at any point you can click on any of the booths and enter a booth. And up here is a space. You have a lot of options, all the information that you'd like to put in and about your organization. There's an actual tab where you can load information just about the company. There are videos and there are documents. Now these videos and documents could all be linked up here. So somebody would click here and it would take you to a particular document in here. chat is where a delegate would have to click, and they could either engage in text, video, or audio. And the deluxe booths are going to have Zoom seats as well with them. So they'll be able to poll if they want to hold maybe a group. You can have some timed announcements for that, and you can pull a group in or do one-on-one with a delegate that you've had some conversations and you want to pull them into a one-on-one. You'll have the ability to do that. I have a question here that asks a sample auditorium. Okay. That's not one of the products that we are getting from WeFairs. I believe our main conference platform has that. So it wouldn't really be worthwhile exercise to go in here. One of the things, the neat things that you can do, and I did this on a demo yesterday, is you can actually build, if an exhibitor wants to build a survey, you can actually build a survey in here. And if you have some short question and answers you want delegates to answer, you have an ability to build that up here. So like I mentioned earlier, you can put as many resources as you like. It's really up to you. And we do help you. So that's another way of clicking on to the next booth instead of just through the main gallery view of scrolling. We will have all of these main features in our main conference page, where you'll have an ability for an auditorium or a plenary hall, the main lobby, the info desk. And when you enter through here, you come through the lobby and you enter exhibit hall, or you go to the lounge, and then the swag bag, which is going to be the delegates kit. And you can add any documents that you want, any PDFs. If you have any prize giveaways or coupons that you want to add in here, that's where you can add them, and it'll be housed under documents in your booth. I'm going to stop sharing now. And maybe Hamza, if you can talk a bit more about the chat features and walk us through, maybe you can screen share.
Yeah, sure. So I'll just pull up an event that has that feature, and we'll show that how a live chat feature looks like. So let me just pull that.
So one of the questions I'm reading through here is we should have live agents on hand throughout the duration of the event. That's up to you. You can build a schedule, and you can have the times that a booth is going to be staffed available in your booth, and you can have delegates book appointments through there so that you know when to have it staffed. But I do recommend, especially on the Monday during the conference hours, and to utilize that afternoon to connect with as many delegates as possible, because they will be coming through the exhibit hall and the lounge and the lobby as well, and to book appointments. So then the following 2 days you're able to do that. That's up to you. But you do have the ability to set up a schedule and to have that available in your booth so that delegates know when the booth will be staffed.
Poonam, I do not have the permission to share the screen.
Okay, let me just give you. Go ahead, try now.
Yeah, sure. So this is one of our events. So for example, if I am a representative from this particular booth, so I'll go to this booth. And once I click on this chat button, so let's go to another event. So when I click on this chat button, it will take me to the public chat room of that specific booth that I chose. So for example, I chose this Hormel Foods Corporation. So it will redirect me to the chat room for this particular booth. And I will be able to see all the messages that are in there for the chat room. So this is a public chat room. And I'll explain that how one-to-one chat will work once this opens up. So this has directly taken me to the public chat room of Hormel Foods Corporation. So this is a public chat room, and I can see all the messages that have been in this particular chat room. And you can see there is a list of online users. So anyone who comes into this particular chat room, you will see them under this online users. And you can, and now you think that you want to have a one-to-one chat with this particular person, you just click over his name and it says chat. So once you click over it, it will redirect you to the direct message with this particular person. And what things will be visible to you is that you can also see the email for that particular person. You can rate the attendees based on the conversation that you have with them. And also you can add some tags or notes to these particular attendees profiles. So you just go over here, view full profile, and then you can add, you see that there are notes already added and tags. So these notes are only visible to you and these are private to you only, because and you can have a look at them later. And the other feature that's there in the chat platform is that, for example, there are two booth reps in a booth, rep A and rep B, and rep A has contacted this particular person. So if a rep B is going to start a chat with this particular person, he will see a contacted button right next to this. So you see that this person has been contacted by Hormel Foods, and it will give us the name of that particular representative. So you will know that your colleague has already contacted this person and you have to now focus on other users or attendees. And you can have an audio or video call in one-to-one chat. So these both features are available in there for one-to-one chat.
So this is a great question. Are there any new trends for virtual swag bag? Maybe you can take us onto the main page.
Let's just go to this swag bag. So swag bag is like all the documents that, for example, I want these documents to be in my swag bag. So these are all the documents that are there in the booth. So I can filter those documents depending on the booth. So for example, if I click on this and I want to view this later or email this to myself, so I'll just click over this swag bag and it will be added to my swag bag. And if I want to like view or email it to myself, these both options are available in there for the swag bag.
That's great. That's great. I mean, it's really up to your imagination. You know, like we said, it could be documents, it could be, you know, what goes in a typical kit bag. It could be coupons. If you come to this booth at this such and such time, and you could be holding, you could have a group chat with people, or you want to pull them through into the Zoom room and have a short webinar there, and you could have the information through there. So it's up to you. There's a great question on devices. What devices is this platform supported on?
This
and
platform, yep. So
and also about what platforms will be supported. So I'll let you answer that.
Okay, so for about the platforms, it works on all the devices like my mobiles and laptops or computer systems that we have. We just have a restriction, or you can say limitation, if people use Internet Explorer. So it's the chat feature that we have does not function properly in the Internet Explorer. So we have a limitation on that only. And except that, it runs fine on either the mobile devices or your computer systems.
So from the main conference platform, we will drive delegates through to the exhibit floor, the lobby, and the lounge. There'll be programming built around in the delegates lounge. There's networking that'll take place there, and there'll be sessions that'll happen in there. And so that'll draw people through to the lobby, to the lounge, as well as the exhibit hall. There's been set timing set aside for the exhibit hall, and we'll have breaks and stuff that we will send notifications and we'll announce that'll draw people through to the exhibit floor. So when you land on the main conference page, there'll be tabs for what delegates may want to do from which sessions. There'll be the exhibit floor information, and they could click on that and it'll bring you right through to the vFairs platform, where you'll have the ability where you see the top exhibit hall, the lobby, and the lounge, the swag bag. So that'll bring you right through.
So you can also view the profiles of all the attendees at once that are there in the platform. So we will rename this to search profiles, and you can have a look at the profiles. And if you want to have a chat invitation sent to this particular person, so there will be a tab that says send chat invitation. So they can be notified via email that this particular exhibitor from this particular booth has sent you a chat invitation for this time. So that's another feature that can be used for interacting with the attendees.
I think we've taken a lot of questions here. So. People have asked about metrics. Do you have any standards yet on other show? What percentage of delegates chat with at least one exhibitor? How long does a delegate spend with an exhibitor? Hamza, you guys have been in this space for some time. wFairs is one of the leaders in the virtual space. They were producing virtual conferences and exhibit shows way before it became, given this current situation, that a way to hold an event. So they've been leaders in that. And Hamza, can you provide us when people ask about metrics and other shows, what is the average percentage of time and percentage of delegates that chat with at least one exhibitor?
Right now, I cannot think of that exact percentage for that, because there is a proper research that is done on this. So for now, I do not have those numbers, but we can share that with you later.
Okay. And I think when you took us through, when we did our initial chat, when we were reviewing platforms, Carlos did talk about the average time a delegate would spend at a booth was, I can't remember now, but
yep, the average time, 10 to 15 minutes, and is the average time that a particular delegate spends with an exhibitor.
Yeah, and if you think about the physical exhibit floor, you're walking through a lot of people, and that's a lot of people walking through, and there's queues forming, and it's so much easier to navigate through this space. You don't have to line up, and literally all of the information is there available for you at the click of a button, all of the resources, and you can enter into a chat room, and it's really up to how you staff your booth and to have that engagement. And we're providing extra resources along with what BFairs offers on the platform so that our exhibitors are able to engage further with the delegates. And we really enjoyed the look and the feel of this. And when we were reviewing different vendors, we were quite excited once Hamza and his colleagues took us through this and what it could do. And it actually provides you with a little bit more information. And again, the 30-day archive is a great way to market and to have all of your resources available for the delegates, because that's the other thing with the virtual space. A lot of the delegates will have access to all of the conference proceeding, even sessions they were not able to attend live. They will be able to go back and review them. And so to be able to click through the booths to review the resources that are available there, I think is a great opportunity for all of the exhibitors to have all the marketing materials available. It gives you a little extra. I will be sending, once we've completed this, we'll have a link to this video, and I will share with you, and I will share with some of the questions that haven't been answered, but I think we've answered a lot of the questions for you. So I think some of the, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. And if you have any further questions, feel free to email me. I'll be happy to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, I will get on a call with Hamza or email him and get you the answers. We're very excited. Yep.
Hi, Poonam, it's Petra. I just wanted to say a few things, and I hope people found this very useful, and it was great to see all the questions, and a number of them were quite similar. So we have an opportunity to share the recording as well as the questions and the answers following up, but we're also available. Just, following up on what I said earlier, that we appreciate this is a very new and different opportunity, and exactly how much interaction will take place or can take place is something we're learning, but we're confident that there's a great opportunity, and we're designing our lobby and all of our touch points to attract attention to the exhibit hall. And recognizing as well that the current challenge right now is to reach prospective clients is somewhat limited. We do feel that this is a great opportunity for you to be able to advertise your business and make some important contacts going forward. We understand that COVID has turned all of our worlds upside down, and this is an opportunity to continue relationships you have, but also lay some important groundwork. We expect that opportunity to convene in person may be quite a while out, even into the fall. So this is a good immediate opportunity for all of us to come together. We AMO recognizes that exhibitors are all of you are a very important part of the conference, and appreciate you taking the time and interest to join us today.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Hamza. That was very nice of you. We just had a meeting prior to this, so we really appreciate you coming on board and spending the time. And thank you, Victoria, for all of the question and answers and fielding us through this. Once again, have a great rest of the day, and any questions, feel free to email me. I'd be very happy to. I'll be sending you the recording of the video once we're completed editing it. Thank you. Take care, everyone.